Okay. So when last we met, you had defeated the Chartland Dragon. You had saved 5 of the 10 towns. And you had decided to, let's say you saved 4.25. Because Tourmaline is pretty jacked. But most of the people survived. Their militia was pretty banged up. But some structures still do remain. You helped with evacuation and sent them on either to Targos or Brimshander, where efforts were set up to take in the refugees. You decided to continue on from there into Lonelywood, feeling nostalgic for your barely visited ramshackle inn that you were in possession of, and brought news of the defeat to the speaker, Nimsy Huddle. Where she congratulated you and sang your praises and promised to pass on that you were here through her sending stone to Brimshander when she was able to get through. You retired to the ramshackle to find it. The door had been fixed and the lock repaired so that no squatters were present. And the individuals who were using it as a warehouse to store their lumber or freshly cut wood had been removed. You found most of the debris had been taken away, so it was fairly empty. Each of you selected a room to kind of bunker down for the night, having a pretty harrowing day. Let's truth be told. I mean, some forced marching, fighting a artificially constructed dragon, and then hiking again. You're pretty done in. Winzira, being Winzira, taking the attic space, decided to do a little exploring, and upon finding the boards to be squeaky, decided to make as much noise as she could, drawing the attention of your elf companion, who came up and looked around, but was unable to notice that Winzira was up there, and left hastily to barricade himself into his room, perhaps having a little bit of a phobia for specters. And that is where, bedding down for the evening, you each did your preparations for the day before sleep, and everyone turned in. And I believe that's where we left off. Anybody else have anything to add? Now's the time.
Nope, I'm good.
Nope.
Excellent. Is my document not coming up? There it is. Okay, Ashala's not here, so it'd be kind of silly for me to read this. Hang on, guys. My Word has locked up. Where I pre-wrote out everything I was going to say. Yay, me, isn't that great?
Look at you being all prepared.
I know, I'm all prepared. I'm all ready to go. And then what happens? Word fucks me at the drive-thru.
Sounds about right.
How do I get it out of this compatibility mode? doesn't matter. All right, so you all bed down. Thea, you fall asleep quickly, and almost immediately you feel warm, safe, and secure. It's as though you sit in a summer meadow below the glacier, at the warmth of the 10-town summer sun fills you with a lazy sense of peace. You bask in this luxurious feeling. You become aware of the presence of your God. The light seems to go brighter and getting warmer. As it gathers, it forms a sphere all around you, filling your vision. You hear Lathander speak to you. Daughter, you have done well. You have saved many lives and brought my light to dark places. Your task, however, is not through. I will be with you as always, but you must stay vigilant. The Frostmaiden grows bold and desperate. You must find a way to stop her from preventing the dawn. Knowledge is your weapon. Find and use it, and bring my light back to this enslaved land. And as he says that, there's a pause, but the warmth is still around you.
I mean, I'm in a dream, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of a lucid dream.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Lord, for visiting me. I don't feel worthy. Thank you. I am only trying to serve you. And yes, I did have a question, though. There was a strange woman who certainly does not follow the light, who has some ideas about where we can get knowledge to perhaps defeat the Frostmaiden, but I'm a little torn on that, as she doesn't seem to be, as I said, a follower of your magnificence. You have any guidance?
There are many who do not follow my precepts and teachings. That does not mean that they are inherently evil or that they could not be useful tools to be used to further our designs and to achieve our goals. Has she done naught to you that would cause you to take arms against her? Has she?
She does raise undead, and have an undead sled, and just a little antithetical to everything that you stand for, so it's been a bit hard for me to continue in her company, but she has not been mean to us and has in fact been very helpful.
As long as your goals align with hers and you do not feel tempted to adopt her methods, then follow your heart and let her follow her path.
Okay. Well, we'll keep that in mind. It seems the best course.
I will be with you and watching.
Thank you.
Walk in the light, daughter.
Always under your...
And with that, the kind of the light, kind of this globe that you're in, kind of just sparkles outward, and you're left sitting in this kind of almost grassy kind of dale up near the glacier that you recall well from your time growing up. It was always a place that wildflowers would bloom in those few weeks of actual warmth in 10 towns. And you kind of drift into deeper slumber with that smell of grasses and budding wildflowers still in your nostrils as you wake in the morning. And I don't have to do hers because she's not even here. So I'm reading it silently to myself, since I will probably be being a Shala from now on. All right. So with that, you guys begin to rouse yourselves. Let me bring up. You're off a couple weeks and you forget how to run Roll20. Nobody can see anything because Kaz, can you can see, right? Kaz?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure
Me-
can.
You guys having trouble hearing me?
Yeah.
Just let me know.
No. I said yeah right the first time you said it.
Okay, it's on my
Maybe
end
Mike
then.
just didn't pick me up.
No worries. Yeah, you guys are up. They're not on the floor, so you're probably not seeing anything, Rebecca. Okay, so actually, let's do that. Let's go upstairs. Kaz, you wake up. You hear kind of some movement and things going on in the. Where the hell? There you go. You hear some movement going on out in the kind of that large open space that you walked in the night before. And upstairs, you know what? I'm gonna turn off the damn. I realize that everybody's doors are closed, so you can't even move around. Right, that was not the smartest of plans. There we go. So you each wake up in your perspective little areas. Windsor, you wake up as the hut kind of pops out of existence. And you awake to the day. Obviously, it's still dark out. So what do you guys want to do?
So you say there are holes in the roof, right?
Yeah.
I want to practice my shooty shoot.
I'm getting internet problems. I'm gonna have to reset.
Okay.
I gotta reset. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm okay. No problem, man. Because I was noticing it that you sort of struggling. I'm kind of glad it's not on my end. Because if I had to reboot this damn thing with all 14 of these things all set up right now, I would be so sad. All right, so you're gonna practice your shooty shoot, as in your.
My gun.
All right, so you have to roll the intelligence on that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know I've got a thing for that. Where did I put that?
Because I know I have one success and one fail.
Yep.
It's straight in, right?
Yes. I'm sorry. You guys have such the knack for.
It's because I got smarter.
You did get smarter. Fuck me, man. I have no memory of where I had that set up. I thought it was I had like a handout or something. Hang on, it's just not coming up.
The laser pistol?
Yeah, was it on your character sheet?
I have it under magical items.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there was. I know that
Characters can use the training rules in the player's handbook to acquire proficiency. I don't know if that was what you were using.
I had a whole thing going for it. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little flustered here right now. Hang on, just give me a second. Shit. So, all right. So 17 and a 16. So yeah, you mess around with these, the knobs on it. And like I was just saying, ever since your loot got a little bit cleaner and looks a little bit prettier, suddenly, things just make a little bit more sense to you. It's just, things you didn't quite notice or didn't care about. Just you see the way things fit together. Seems a little bit more clear. And you kind of mess around with some of these switches on the side in random order, and then you realize that if you flip these 3 switches in a consecutive order, lights start to light up along the side, and they go from red, and then green, green. And then with that, you kind of try the trigger, and a beam of light comes flying out with a loud shoof, flies out. I have that one up. And you successfully fire off the laser pistol.
Whoa!
So you now have an understanding of how this thing works and can use it in combat.
Hooray! This thing is so cool.
And I'm going to have to pin that sound now to Sirenscape. Which I'm happy to do. Let me just check your thing. Do I have you set up here in your attacks? You do not. All right. But it's under magic items, you said?
It's under the handout thing.
Oh, in your handouts. Your player handouts. Yeah. Okay. What's the title of that handout?
Laser pistol.
It is under laser. Laser.
Pew.
Yeah, why isn't it coming up? There it is. There you are. All right, let me just set this up real quick so that you can use it. Do you have proficiency with firearms?
Somebody's taking a dip into Artificer.
All right, so laser pistol is a dex. We're going to say you're not proficient yet.
Understandable.
Your range is 40. 120. It does have the reload characteristic. So you'll have to use a bonus action to reload it.
There's so many things I can do on my bonus actions.
And that's radiant. On a crit, it's 66, which is insane. All right.
Hey, Kaz, look what I can do.
Oh, it's down there already. Oh no, that's me typing it in. Never mind. Never mind.
Why are you amused that you might kill us all?
All right, so you don't know how many actually there are on that, but you do see on the side of it there is kind of like a row of lights. There are currently 3 green lights lit, 4 yellow, and 4 red. No, I'm sorry, 2 red.
Three, four, two.
Yep.
I'm so glad I saved those people.
All right. Go ahead and do an attack roll with with your laser pistol, just to see if I've got it right.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Cool. I am so glad you're not a rogue.
I mean, always a chance to dip in.
Well, artificer too. Yeah.
And we could be artificers.
Yeah. Did they take away all the minimum ability score requirements for classes?
Yeah, except for multi-class.
Yeah. So if she tries to, that's the whole thing. I mean, imagine being a 7 intelligence artificer.
Nope, I can't do it.
You know what I
I
mean?
don't have requirements for it.
Yeah. But you could have at the beginning is what Dave is saying.
Yes. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, I guess if you started off as artificer, there's no stat requirements.
You would just be a terrible artificer.
Yeah.
That would be kind of funny too. Okay, no messages, so yeah, we're gonna assume that Kayla's done. All right. So that's what When Zero was doing. Anybody else got anything going on this morning? The rest of you?
Nope, just hanging in my room.
Pretty sword. Your pretty axe.
Yeah. Just admiring my axe.
Yeah, you can hear there's kind of pans being kind of knocked together and sounds downstairs. As you guys each open up your own room, your own door, and you kind of look out, you can see that there's that open air going down. And let me just kind of describe this for you guys on the map. Faye, I'm going to move you out just so I can see it on the main. So the stairs, there's 2 stairs that go down either side off of this kind of open, kind of like a open hallway that's open. That's this open space. This thing here, there is a kind of a wall that goes up between the stairs. It's kind of like a jut out, and it's actually a closed-in room. That goes, so that wall that you see right here goes all the way to the ceiling.
Gotcha.
And as you guys kind of explored into that before, it's kind of like a library, kind of like a study type of thing. That's 2 stories with kind of the spiral staircase, wood, metal staircases that go up to kind of a secondary, kind of a landing that's got like dilapidated chairs and whatnot in it. And I can do this so that you can see what I'm talking about. You guys are on the 2nd floor now of that kind of room.
Cool.
And that's open again, like this, like it was in the other room. This is this part here is open down. That's, you're actually seeing the 1st floor. Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Like, John's looks so much better. Can you pull yours back up? Like, his looks better. Mine just looks like a grid. I
Yeah,
can't.
hers doesn't have any of the texture on it. It's just a gray grid.
Yeah.
I guess I'll head downstairs and
Yeah, I don't know why that would be. You guys can all see. Philbert, you could see, right? And you know what? I'm actually seeing through your eyes there on the kind of the game map, and it looks fine on here.
Okay, well,
Maybe reload.
yeah, I'll reload roll 20. Give me a moment.
I don't hear Thea or Kaz, so I'm going to reconnect. Give me a second.
Oh.
And Discord.
So, this commercial break is brought to you by Sweet Baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus!
Chocolate peanut butter porter.
I tried that. I did not like it.
Yeah? Too much for you?
Too much for me.
Sounds like something that Tara would despise.
Yeah.
It's not my first choice, but it's not horrible.
Tara hates peanut butter and chocolate combination.
Yeah.
Gasp!
I know, we've had this conversation. I said almost the same thing.
Peanut
Well,
butter and chocolate together. I think it tastes amazing.
Listen, I like peanut butter. I like chocolate. I just don't like them together, okay?
you know,
Like,
it's
okay.
fine. You can never steal my Reese's, and that's awesome. Thank you.
exactly.
I buy Reese's, and the only thing I gotta worry about is the kids.
And that's no small worry.
No.
Right, I see texture now.
Yay.
Yeah, it was just my stupid roll 20. Okay, this to snap.
Because I spent a significant amount of time putting all that texture on there.
But it sucks because on my end, it was literally like you're explaining all this stuff, and I'm like, it's a gray grid. And then I can see over on John's, I'm like, no, that looks nice. Bastards.
Yeah, this is all, I built this all from scratch.
It's awesome.
I'm blindfolded, I think.
Oh no.
You are, hang on. I fucked up, hang on. Where are you? Why is Thea's token coming up like minuscule? was doing that earlier today, too. There you go, Thea.
I cast reduce, enlarge on Thea. That's why.
What?
It's cast reduce enlarge on you. That's why you're tiny.
So go ahead and feel free to explore around a bit. But as you come down, you see Villain kind of directing her kobolds. The three of which have been kind of busy. They've got a small fire going in the hearth in the main room, and they're actually using it as a cook fire. They have laid out kind of a tablecloth type of thing, looks to have been found, and there's been provisions laid out for you guys for breakfast. One of the kobolds pulls a kettle out of the fire and begins to pour into a teapot. Looks cracked and perhaps found in the kitchens here, but nonetheless is holding water and is in the process of brewing tea. Villain kind of looks at you, Null, and says, well, I trust that you all feel a bit rested after all that heroics yesterday. The least we could do was to pull open our packs and provide you with a way to break your fast this morning.
Really?
Thank you.
Yum yum.
Oh, 1-0. I didn't put you on the map. I'm sorry.
I'm exploring the attic.
Just playing with her pew pew.
Pew pew.
You have to tell me if you fire it again now.
I will let you know.
Noticed is Roll20 has changed the way their lighting looks.
Yeah, it's much more dynamic.
Like instead of it just being 120 feet of just.
I changed that.
Everything. Oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay.
I set you up with a nocturnal setting. So I went back and I changed that. That is a newer feature. But yes. So it should taper off as it gets further.
Yeah.
Instead of just being a hard line, like 120 feet of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messed around with that. I messed around with that stuff today.
Cool.
Since they've done 2 updates and I haven't been able to actually sit down and read through it all and look at it all. So.
I am quite happy with the new dark mode they put in.
The dark mode is nice. It definitely helps with my cameras because I'm not getting so much white splash on me.
Yep. And it's not all in my glasses now. And
Yeah.
Anyway.
Some are light.
yeah.
But, I have exciting news, everyone.
Oh?
Okay.
So, Lathander came to me in my sleep last night. It was amazing. And he said, great job, everybody. We're all walking his path and doing a wonderful job, but we need to stick with the plan and we have to take on the Frostmaiden. And he said you're okay by him, as long as you keep trying to kill the Frostmaiden.
Well, that is a first for me.
He says we could truly be friends.
I have not had the seal of approval of any deity that I know. So thank you for that, I guess.
I don't start, summoning undead and stuff like you do. But, he said we're on the same path and therefore you're cool by him. And that the most important thing is taking out, the Frostmaiden.
Well, that is the plan. And I think that we should sit down and, while we break our fast, go over once again what that plan is.
I've got some notes here.
And I've been giving it some thought as well.
So, well, There's the frozen city of Ithrin, right?
There is. And I think that...
there's Codicil there to talk to us about.
Well,
Then when there was your
that's not...
orb I'm sorry. I think I'm delayed from you.
Yeah, I'm just clamping down on my mouth here. Oh, so I don't talk over you.
And then there was that codicil, and then there was a family heirloom that was an orb, and then something about some bitch who was a Luskin pirate, or she likes Luskin pirates, and then, yeah.
Well, that was certainly some breadcrumbs of the cake. Perhaps I can put it all back together for you. Now, the city of Ithrin, that is my end goal. And in that city, I do believe we would find the firepower, if you will, to be able to confront a god and wrest all of Icewind Dale from her grasp. The codicil, however, is what we need to actually get to the city. The city, once a flying city of the Netherine, we've discovered through divination magic, has been long since encased in the ragged glacier. We need some kind of way to penetrate into the glacier to get to the city. And it is said by many credible witnesses and accounts that the Codicil of White contains a ritual of the Frostmaiden that would allow us to crack the glacier and create a path to the city. Unfortunately, I have no idea where the Codicil is. And the Luskin pirate lover that you said, I will now forever and more refer to Nas Lanthamir as the Luskin pirate lover. That's thank you for that, truly. No, she was one of my colleagues, a fellow wizard who stole my family heirloom. Again, another crumb that you had gleaned from the story. A professor orb, a repository of magic, a magical repository of knowledge with a consciousness of its own. She stole it from me and fled, trying to use Luskin pirates to go after the Codis by herself. She apparently had more information about its whereabouts than I did, but she would need the knowledge located within the orb to make any chance into the city. I do believe that you spoke with the speaker, the quaint little halfling, about rumors of a crashed or shipwrecked Luskin ship that she knew of?
Yes, she said we could speak to Dania, and she should be able to tell us about the pirates, or we could always threaten Dania with an audit.
Clever. So,
But did we also come to the conclusion that the upside down city that we went to could possibly be connected to one of these fallen the spire?
Well, we told her about it.
Yeah.
And she marked it so she could check it out.
Yeah. It wasn't the full place though.
no, but from what you've told me, it certainly sounds to me, and then doing some quick research in my notes, in my journals, many of the Netherine floating cities had parapets and spires that rose above And this certainly could have been one of those that perhaps, as the city was undergoing whatever calamity brought it out of the sky, could have sheared off, perhaps, and fallen. The upside-down nature of everything certainly lends to that theory.
Those Netherine books, and I know that you haven't had time to read any yet, but if there's anything you can glean from those, that would be very helpful, as I know some of them have histories in them. So maybe in one of those books we'll have some information.
It will.
Unfortunately, our elven friend couldn't tell any hide. He just said they were history books.
Grumbling and shoving cheese into his face and turning red with shame.
We kept these because I felt they must be important of some sort. And with what you're saying, that these items, I mean, perhaps one of these would have some of the things we're talking about.
I will certainly need more time to do the translations. I don't speak the Netherine language natively. It is a laborious process of translation and reference. It has not been a language that has been spoken in thousands of years. But I certainly shall endeavor to do so in our spare moments. However, I do believe that time is of the essence and that we should try to pursue any leads that we have to recover the Professor Orb. Certainly Professor Skeet could actually help with those translations. It actually would be able to read them natively and let us know if they were of any value. It is a tremendous resource. And truly, if we are to bring about the end of this eternal night and free ourselves from the confines of Icewind Dale, it will be invaluable for us to find. And as I said, it is a personal interest to me as it is a family heirloom.
I think before we leave, though, we did promise the speaker that we would secure an innkeeper of some sorts to help, so that the ramshackle was not just left to vagabonds roaming in and out. So we do need to take care of that before we can just take off. You know. So I think, while we are going to speak to Danae, we could also, perhaps one of us could procure a reasonable person to look after and help fix up the inn. I'm sure there's people here looking for work.
Ashala kind of looks over at you and says, didn't that little woman say that she was going to be sending candidates over? I mean, I could talk to him if you want me to. Rebecca, I can kind of see your thing going green, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Loud and clear, that one.
Cool.
So if you've been saying anything, I didn't hear any of it.
Same.
Gotcha. All good. I'm not paying for it. Just saying. I'm broke.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have how much money since we just saved this entire community of towns and nothing to show for it.
Man, being good is poor.
silver, and I'm sure once the inn is back up in, good standing, then we'll be able to pay more. But we had some funds to get our inn up and running.
Ooh, okay. Thanks for volunteering, Thea.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun.
You should get rid of that copper. It's heavy.
Well, this is I'm sure some people who are out of work wouldn't mind making some copper, fixing this place up.
Is that really all you guys have?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we haven't gotten paid for like anything that we've done.
Yeah.
I have 83 gold, and that's only
I
because
think I have 30 gold.
that's only because I've been hoarding.
I have 180 gold, but that's like left over from when I created the character, mostly.
Well, you guys also keep booking out of like areas without searching it.
Oh, we also have a ton of crap that we didn't sell yet from
Yeah,
Duragar.
yeah. I thought you broke into that chest and it had all kinds of shit in it.
Yeah,
Like-
we have to find someone to buy it though.
I
Can
thought
anybody afford this stuff?
I thought it had a shitload of coin in it. Hang on.
No, we only found things.
The only thing from that chest is a medallion, some slippers, a smoking jacket, a hookah, and a leather scroll, and some smith tools. We're not getting hooked up with loot here, okay?
It's been there. May not have found it.
Sounds like too much
Yeah, we
work.
have the obsidian dwarven sandals, the ruby studded smoking jacket, the malachite eared comb set, and the platinum and star sapphire hookah.
Okay, yeah, I've got the hookah. I've got pimp slippers, pimp jacket, and pimp hookah. So that's what that is.
I don't know who wrote that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no coin.
Oh
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if we would have slaughtered the whole fucking Dwagar place, we might have gotten some stuff out of it. But
You were closer than you. There was a lot of shit there.
yeah,
We had to chase after this dragon.
I'm not questioning your.
Plus, homegirl, she's supposed to start setting up a merchant trade, so we have to talk to her eventually.
Filbert, go ahead
Yes.
and roll a intelligence. How would I do this? Intelligence with an intelligence survival check.
Okay.
So
So
you get your
survival, I
proficiency.
have expertise, so it's going to be +7 to the roll.
Yep, there you go.
26.
So, as you guys are talking about needing to fix up this place, and wanting to anyway, and thinking back about the loot, you kind of start going over in your head, being that, you're street savvy, right? You've survived out on the streets. You've done some buying and selling of goods without necessarily asking where they came from. You realize that you probably have in the ballpark of 5,000 gold if you sold all that and got decent money for it from that from what was in that chest.
Yeah, so, I mean, I can take this stuff to a shop and get like 100 gold for it. Maybe, maybe we can use that to help fix up the inn.
Really? Isn't it all shiny? Don't people like shiny things?
Yeah, sometimes.
Hang on.
Be a little.
I gotta do one thing. I don't have her. Do I have her open? No.
But I mean, if I find the right buyer for it, it might be like 5,000.
Okay.
That sounds like a lot more than 100.
Well, the problem is that half of 10 towns is gone. I don't know if people are gonna have money to spend on status symbols.
Well, isn't that hookah? And this is a shala. Isn't that hookah? Isn't that made with platinum? I mean, if we had to, we could just have the whole thing melted down and made into coins, couldn't we? Pull out those sapphires. I mean, they don't have to have a status symbol. That's just plain money. I mean, you wouldn't get as much as I'm sure it's worth like it is, but I bet you get a bunch.
I think that's where the lion's share of that, if he finds the right buyer, it could be 5,000.
Yeah.
Comment comes from.
Yeah.
Well, we should definitely try. I mean, I don't think there's a. Oh wait, there is that shop here. There's that weird shop that's here. That's got weird stuff.
In Lonelywood with
Yeah.
like 60 people living here.
Yeah, but it's a weird shop. What's it called?
I guess we can try to see if he has 5,000 gold sitting around.
Is it the Lucky Liar? I can't.
You think we might be able to open up a line of credit with him?
Yeah.
Or something?
The shady satyr.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Although I don't know about opening up a line of credit with something that's called the Shady Satyr.
I think it's a great name.
Great name.
What's a satyr?
What's a cubit?
Harry Goatman. We're about your size.
Oh, that's the elf actually perks up because that sounds like the name of one of my professors, Harry Goatman. Wonderful chap.
Yeah, that's a great story. So do you guys want to walk over to the satyr and see what we can get out of them?
The Shady Satyr. It might be good.
Well, we can have a Shala and I forgot his name. Stay here and wait for the interviewers or whatever.
Yeah, I think Ashala wants to wait here. But if we're going to the Shady Satyr, we're bringing Kaz. I don't think we should haul all of our loot out to a shop. I think perhaps maybe we could discuss with them coming to appraise our items. It's not the best.
Haven't we just been lugging it around anyway?
True, but we haven't told people like, hey, we have all this expensive stuff.
Show him a couple items.
Well, who have you told?
No one.
Lillian asks. No, just now. I mean, as the goblin so very astutely points out, and she kind of gives you this kind of up down, like noticing you like for the really first time, giving you a hard look. Yes, nothing has changed. If from yesterday, no one knows anything about it.
He will know because we're gonna go ask him if he wants to buy it.
Well, he's not going to want to. He's going to want to see the merchandise, wouldn't he? Wouldn't you have to show him if you were trying to sell it to him?
But if he had to come appraise it, he would still know about it.
Yes, but then he'd be coming here and not all of the creepy people who hang around the Shady Satyr.
like.
Okay, fine.
What?
That's why I said you had to come.
I mean, have you looked at our party lately?
I see Foo Man.
I think we can defend ourselves if somebody wants to get wise.
True.
Do you have faith in your god Lathander to protect you?
Lathander's not here for my personal interest in fixing up this inn. He is only there for the
To protect you,
insane.
and his interest to get rid of this everlasting night. So, I'm about to leave. Who wants to come?
I do. Oh, I need the stuff. If you're not coming, guys.
Going.
I'm going.
I'll stay with the Charlotte to do the interviews.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
The elf is going to stay as well.
Oh, okay.
I can't leave two NPCs to do interviews. I'm sorry.
Well, you could. Then they can happen off camera.
Fine.
I'm just saying. You could. But no, that's fine. You stay. We can role play that. That's fine.
You you don't want to role play job interviews, maybe?
No, it sounds like a blast.
They can go first.
All right. So, the party splits.
Split it.
And once again, could never have anticipated you guys going to the Shady Seder, the place that I made up 40 weeks ago. Love you guys. Love you so much.
You're welcome.
So, it's not far. But as you guys kind of are leaving, you can see that while last night it was very clear that all the lights had been snuffed out. You didn't see any of the kind of the fires or barn fires that Lonelywood actually has more of because of its proximity to access of wood, unlike some of the other towns and 10 towns that you saw. Last night was you realize was significant. There were no lights present. And you realize that they were probably purposely doused to not aid in the dragon's locating the town. But being as it is still a little bit before the sky lightens in that brief period of each day, now you can see the light. The torches have been lit again. You see small braziers at street intersections, and you can see that they weren't actually completely idle. The militia, the small, tiny militia of Lonelywood, had actually erected barricades to kind of perhaps put up some kind of resistance should the Charlatan Dragon have made it here. But you turn down the Tourmaline Road around the corner from the Ramshackle, and you make your way as you're about to leave. And you come across the Shady Seder. The sign still creaks on its rusted chains, depicting a silhouette, a black silhouette of a what you can see is a satyr. It's a little bit unclear if that's his tail, or if he's facing the other way, and it's something else, because he's kind of done in this way that it looks like he is standing in the shadow of a building. But as you approach up, there are no lights lit on this porch. And you can see that the windows themselves, while always were heavily shuttered, as most of the 10 towns windows are, these have actually now had boards kind of put across and nailed shut.
Go knock on the door.
Okay. Those are useless. Knocking on the door. It is who's doing it?
I will.
Give me a perception check, will you?
A lot.
Dang.
Dude, yeah, seriously. I mean, 30 is God level. Just so you know, right? That's like,
Well, I have a +8.
I understand.
So I rolled a 19.
I get you. I'm just telling you, 30 is God level. Level abilities. As you're knocking on this, as you're pounding on this door, Filbert, it strikes you very clearly, apparently, that this door is heavy. And 27. Not only is it heavy, as you're knocking, you're pretty sure that it's probably been reinforced, maybe with metal bands. I mean, it is like solid. There is no give to it as you bang on it, and there's barely even a sound from this heavy wood. And even though it's very faint, possibly because you're so used to listening at doors, you kind of hear a muffled, "It's fucking open."
Right? I'll open the door.
Okay. Stepping in to the Sadie Shader.
Shady Satyr, or the Sadie Shader.
What did I say?
Sadie Shader.
You mix up your H's.
Well, those in the know. Stepping into the Shady Satyr. You see a surprisingly sparse room. There are a few counters along the wall, but generally you're stepping into a room that is probably 30 feet by 20 feet. You see that there is a counter, an L-shaped counter towards the back side of it. There is a small counter to the right of the back, and there's a space in between for somebody to kind of get in behind. And there appears to be a kind of a curtain, that curtain doorway leading further back into the building. The countertop is actually made of looks like to be heavy glass, actually, which is somewhat surprising. You don't see a tremendous amount of glass of this size in 10 towns. There are a few small stools around low tables in that open space, almost as if like for little, almost like a little gathering spots. You can see what appears to be ashtrays on each of those tables. And as you look back, kind of perched up on a high stool is a small gnome who may be one of the oldest living creatures that you have ever seen. By even long-lived races, this gnome looks ancient. His ears are extremely long and have tufts of hair growing out of them. He has a very long kind of, but also bulbous at the back nose that is all pockmarked. And again, whiskers almost growing out of his nose, blending in with a very long mustache that droops down before is meticulously curled on either side. He appears to be wearing a faded green velvet suit
Nice.
that may have been in fashion at some point in
Is it a
ancient
three-piece?
history. No, not three-piece. It's not like a modern day suit. You know, it's more of a kind of a knee-length coat.
Gotcha.
You know, over kind of breeches that stop at the knee. And he's got striped yellow and blue socks that you can see. And you can see all this because he is, I'm going to back up and give you a visual. He's actually kind of perched on this stool with his feet on the top rung. And on his lap is this very large book that he appears to be bent over and writing in. And as you walk in, he kind of looks up and you see these little spectacles perched on the end of this kind of long nose with big bulbous things on the side. And he looks at you and says, well, I guess, what are the words? Welcome? Welcome, yes. Welcome to welcome to the Shady Seder. What can I do for you?
This place used to be a shop. You still sell and buy things?
A shop? Yes, of course we're a shop. Of course we're a shop. There are things here in the countertops, but of course, come. What would you like? We have a very select inventory at this point. You know, trade difficulties and shipping being what it is these days. We also have brokerage services that I provide. And he's tapping kind of his fingers on the table as he's saying that to you, Filbert.
Do I recognize that as some sort of signaling from my thieves' cant knowledge?
You do. Give me an intelligence check at advantage and add your proficiency.
$24.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you don't recognize, there's different kind of regional or it's not even by region, but almost by speciality within kind of like the thieves world type of thing.
Yeah.
and whatnot. But you get a lot of the gist of it. That the shop is mostly basically you get the gist that yes, they will fence, They do have some legit items and commerce for sale to keep the front. But if you want anyone to disappear, they also have access to an assassin's guild.
So, I think I'm in the right place to do some business with you. We came across some fairly high-end items. If you would be interested in taking a look.
So he kind of takes off, he pries off these one spectacle kind of monocle things that were perched on his nose, and it drops down to a little gold chain, and he reaches into another pocket and he pulls out ones that are much bigger, and it makes his beady little eyes now look like Mr. Magoo eyes, right? They're like giant behind the spectacles, and he's like, "Oh well, now you have my full attention. So let me see." And he actually pulls kind of a lever, and his stool, he doesn't get up from the stool, but this long spindly stool he's on actually slides down and moves up to the counter. Place your items here, please.
We'll start with the sandals and the comb set.
What's that there?
That's the name of the glasses.
This is the type of glasses.
Oh, right. Oh, why didn't I bookmark? Or did I bookmark? I thought I did. Okay, so you put up first the sandals.
And the comb set.
Well, aren't these interesting? They sort of look dwarvish, but not quite.
Very close, yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, what would you like for them?
Do I have a rough breakdown of what I thought everything was individually?
Yeah, with your 400 that you rolled on that? Yeah, probably. Yeah. You figure that the sandals could go for anywhere from 2 to 250. The quilted smoking jacket, you have no idea, but you figured the gemstones alone had to be at least worth 400, maybe more. There are 50 of them.
Okay.
And actually, if you can get close to 10, it could be upwards of 500. The malachite beard comb set with 7 red garnets. Again, if you figure that the garnets are probably worth itself anywhere from 75 to 100 each, you would think that you could probably get 400 to 500 for that as well.
So for the...
And that hookah, I mean, it's solid platinum.
He just the slippers and the comb right now, I think.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving him the whole list, so I don't have to keep picking up this book. That hookah is made of solid platinum, and it's got a star sapphire as the bowl. Kind of a hollowed out thing for the bowl. You got to think that that's got to be between 2,000 and 3,000 by itself.
Mm-hmm. And so I put the sandals and the comb set up there. So you said about 200 to 250 and at least 500. So Let's say 1,000 for the two. See what he comes back with.
And he starts kind of scribbling in his ledger a little bit and starts working it out. And he's like, man, if you're in Netherdeep or even Waterdeep or Neverwinter, I'm certainly that you could find a buyer who would be willing. I would be a bit more challenged to move your merchandise for that price up here. That's not to be saying that it can't be done. It can be done, of course. There would be a small commission for myself, mere 10%. So I would be motivated to get you a very good price. The more I could get you, the best. I shall make some inquiries to see if I can get you a buyer. Now, there are other ways to compensate. If you're looking for any services rendered that we could provide, I'm sure a deal could be struck in that way as well. Perhaps greater than the value of the item.
Not sure if we need the type of services that you would be proficient in.
One never knows until they know.
Well, exactly. So you do this as a bit of a consignment?
Yes, I need to find the buyers for that. I will say this. In the spirit of developing a relationship with one of your obvious savvy worldliness, and he taps out and can't, you kind of, he basically is giving you the recognition call tap out there. I don't have a tremendous amount of resources on hand, however, but I could take these obsidian sandals off your hands. I do believe I could find a buyer in Targos who might be interested in these. I would be willing to take the risk on myself in order to perhaps foster a future relationship. Say 225 in gold, of course.
Sounds all right. Yeah.
Okay. He reaches into a kind of a pocket that doesn't have a bulge on it. But as he reaches in, he kind of moves his hand around and fishes a little bit, and then he pulls out. And as it comes out, you see that it's a good sized bag. And he drops it with a heavy kind of and the clinkling of coins on the counter. And he reaches in another pocket and he pulls out a slightly smaller one and he drops that on the counter. It's 150 and 50 and 75 for 225. And he holds out his hand for the slippers.
Pouches look about right. I'll hand him the slippers. Or the sandals, sorry.
Oh, feel free to count them if you like. I wouldn't trust me either.
Yeah, I'm counting them.
And it does take you a minute or two, but yep, they're exactly right. 150 in one and 75 in the other.
All right. And you're gonna find out about a buyer for the home set?
Oh, I absolutely will. And be assured, I will be charging my gentleman in Targos more than the 225 that I paid you.
Well, I would hope so.
Yes. I believe,
Zero.
though, in a straight up discussion is important. But yes, I see your merchandise right now. That hookah is stunning. Please allow me to see. I think of one buyer that comes to mind. He does have access to significant, shall we say, civil funds.
I hope at least 2,500 gold worth of significant funds.
Significant civil funds. But with this whole nonsense with this dragon and
Oh, you mean the dragon that we killed?
you had me there for a moment there. It was a fine jest. A fine jest.
No, I didn't stutter.
No, you did not. It would have ruined the delivery of the punchline.
No, we really did kill it. You want me to sing you a song about it?
Yeah, sing on the song.
That terrible one that I sang 2 weeks ago.
Yes, very good jest. No need for a song, little goblin girl. But
It's not a jest, though.
yes, I hope absolutely, of course. Well, thank you then for your service. You saved, from what I understand, 4 towns. Very good. Well done. Thank you for
Including your operation you got going on here.
None is more aware of that than I. And thus I have given you a fair shake, and I will do so moving forward. I will get you the best price possible.
All right.
And I won't even be greedy. This one time.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you think you have a buyer for the hookah, I would be interested in hearing what they would be offering in exchange for it.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you are looking for other than liquidation?
I will ask Kaz and Winzira. That took me a moment. If they're looking for anything or if they need anything. Kaz, were you looking for some new armor or something like that?
Set of armor.
I didn't pick that. Your mic didn't pick that up.
Said I definitely could use a good set of armor. Of the heavy variety.
Magic!
So, you do know what like the kind of the breakdown is, right, for rare items, for gold?
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. Rare items generally about 5,000.
Yeah.
Very rare are 50,000.
Yeah, that's why I'm not like massively like I dude.
God damn it. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
Tickle. I'm not laughing. All right. And where might I be able to send word should I find buyers for these?
Ramshackle in.
So, very good. Okay. Heroes of 10 Towns, or that name doesn't really work anymore, does it? Are now staying at the dilapidated Ramshackle Inn. Excellent. Okay. Very
What's
good.
your turnaround on buyers?
Well, with the whole unrest that's going on right now, it may be a couple of days before I'm able to get word to and from. But I will do my best to do it in a severe time frame.
All right.
Very good. Well, thank you for coming. And if there's anything else that you find along the way, please bring it by. Certainly, the more merchandise that you move through here, the more coin I will have on hand to be able to maybe take some things off your hands instantly.
Well, that would be good. Do we need anything else, gang?
Do you know anybody that might be interested in?
Kaz, while you were talking, you do see that like they're in this counter that's kind of going around, this glass top thing. There are some items that are currently in there. Some of them look like they haven't been touched in forever, with the amount of dust and kind of stuff, all kind of cobwebs on them. But there are other things. I mean, you see a dagger and a scabbard. You see a kind of a little box, an inlaid on the top of it, some kind of either mother of pearl or some kind of stonework, and set into this kind of a square like lacquer box. There are certain items, they're just very few for the size of the space. This 30 by 20 room that just this little counter has. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever gone into like a gaming store that you walk in, it's like this big space and they've got like, 12 miniatures on a rack and, like 6 books. And then they've got like magic cards in a glass case with a register. That's it. It's that place, but dirty and dark.
Well, that's the gaming store we had nearby the house was that place and dirty and dark.
Oh, there you go. There you go. It's that place in Lonelywood.
Yeah. And the guy that worked there trying to show me his miniatures that he painted that weren't really that well painted.
It's an art form.
Yeah. And he's been doing it for years, and I'm better than him.
He's an artificer with a low intelligence.
All right, Winzira, you get inspiration for that one.
Yay.
Well, I'll look at what he's got here.
Anytime you get a call back that good, you get inspiration. I'm a big fan of the callback.
I'll browse what he's got, like what, like I'll ask him about the few items he has here, what they do, if there's anything of importance.
Can I also cast detect magic while they're talking?
Are you doing it stealthily? Because you got to use the loot.
Nope, I'm not. Not at all. Out in the open.
He's like, I'm gonna see if you got magic stuff.
Magic!
some shinies.
Okay. I should have thought about this more before I opened my damn mouth. All right. But I mean, it wouldn't be just in, he's a fence. I mean, there's got to be some shit in there, right?
Yeah.
So, how much crazy shit do we want to put in here? All right, give me a sec.
All the crazy shit.
Just broke, breaking my game again. Son of a bitch. Hey, Rebecca, roll a d6 for me.
Can do. Four.
Okay. All right. All right, I've rolled 90 on percentage die, 92, and then a 98. It's ridiculous. $75. I've never rolled that high that many times in my entire life.
The dice today have been crazy.
Well, I'm doing it old school too.
The dice gods have spoken.
I didn't close anything. Something going on with the computer. Is there something down there that's like filling the computers?
Okay. So the dagger itself, 1-0, does not light up. However, there is what looked to have been kind of a coiled up rope over in a corner, mostly covered by dust. That actually starts to light up in your eyes as you kind of sing-songing your song underneath your breath. Oh no, you did it out in the open. So what is it that you sing? I'm gonna make you actually tell me.
Show me some shinies. I love me some shinies. They're the best in the world. And they cost a lot of money.
All right, that works. So as you do so, your eyes kind of like turn like almost if they're looking at you, like gold coins kind of like form over your eyes and then kind of bleed into them. But you still kind of have this golden kind of eye look to you. You see a dust covered coil of rope in the corner light up to your eye. That inlaid box. You see a glow kind of coming out of between the lid the box itself isn't magic, but it appears that something inside of it is. You see a kind of there's several different vials in a rack, and one of them, which begins to glow. Of the 5 that are there, it's the third one. It's the one in the middle. And then you can kind of see, even from where you are, it's kind of this bluish, kind of translucent, with little flecks of what look like green, some kind of plant material, suspended within it. And you see folded up what you would at first took for a shirt. As you kind of approach, you see that it's actually very fine chainmail that is so dust covered that it actually looks like it's, at first it looked like it was a normal kind of gray shirt. But as you kind of peer down at it a little bit harder, you make out the telltale signs of some kind of chainmail. And then having looked at that, there is a back on a rack, along with a couple of hats, a pointy kind of, almost like a witch hat. And then next to that is a small metal kind of helm that just has, looks like a little, like almost like a skull cap with a dinner plate sticking out of it. You know, those types of helmets like that. And that glows. And those are the 5 things in here that you actually see that are glowing.
Ooh.
You see anything of interest?
Maybe. And then I'll go around the room and pick up all the stuff and put it in front of the gnome. What's all this do? I'll probably drag the chainmail. It's kind of heavy.
Actually, as you go to drag it, it's surprisingly light.
I just wave it around like a flag.
Well, you have chainmail.
And then I cough because it's dusty.
So the chain shirt and chainmail that she brings up, she goes, "Well, this is a great treasure." And he pulls it up, and even as light as it is, Winzira, you can see he struggles to kind of lay it out in his ancient state. This is made by the elves, of course. It's a mithril. Very light, but very durable. Much more practical than standard chain, of course.
Was it a full chainmail or is it like a chain shirt?
It's a full set of chain, but it's size for medium.
Oh,
You're medium.
I'm a large medium.
Filled.
Rules is written. If you're a medium creature, it will fit you.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
a
Matt.
little bulgy.
Magic items fit to whoever attunes to them.
Does mithril count as a magic item? I guess it does.
It's in the magic item section, isn't
I know.
it?
Well, that's why I had her roll the d6 to see if it was how it was sized. So yes, you can put this on. It will not impede your movement. You will look not quite the fat guy in a little coat, but you're going to be looking like one of those guys wearing, one of those compression shirts in the gym. Yeah, you're gonna be that guy.
You're gonna have bat abs.
With my blacksmithing skills, do I feel as though I could let it out a little to make it fit better?
Because it's a magic item, you would have to be more of there would be an arcana kind of thing to it. And it's an elvish kind of technology, I guess we'll say. I mean, it can totally fit you, dude. It will fit you. You're just going to be like, The Rock with itty bitty shirts.
Abs.
Especially when you go and enlarge yourself.
Yes, but that's a magical thing that his stuff increases with him. That's part of the magic of his ruin when he does it or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I have not been imagining that at all.
You're imagining the full Hulk, like his pants,
Yeah.
get really tiny, like little shorts on him.
Yep.
Nice. Hey, man, whatever gets you through the night, Rebecca. All right. So as you pull up, he looks at the rope and he goes, "Wow, this is very helpful for those who aren't skilled in climbing. This will definitely assist. This is about a 60-foot length, silken material, enchanted. You can have it do all types of things. You can tell it to knot itself, and it will. Make it easier to climb.
Can it dance?
Well, in a way, it kind of does." And he picks up the one end of the rope, and he says, "Execute!" And the rope actually streaks out and ties itself around the back, the doorknob, and goes taut. It's sort of dense.
That's pretty cool. Hey, Filbert, you can climb with this rope, unlike that other one.
Well, and I can do
True.
this too. Rope, knot. And as it does, it kind of like starts to like, and every 1 foot, the rope knots itself and makes it so that it would be much easier to climb. Of course, that shortens the rope, but
I clapped.
Might be handy.
all right, we talked about that. Do any of you speak Gnomish?
I don't think I do.
But I do not.
Would you mind putting this on? Any of you?
I'll do it.
I do, but I'm not there.
Pick me.
Oh, wait. Thank God. Oh my God, I was reading the wrong one. I'm like, I am not giving him this. I was reading the wrong item. And I'm not giving it to you. That one. No, ever. All right, he puts it on. And he leans over and he says into your ear, he says, say the word pancakes.
Pancakes.
Well, You see, I come from a long line of gnomish great lovers, you understand. We were paramours to empresses and to all the nobility of many, many kingdoms. And the rest of you just hear, it's going really fast. Windsor, it's perfectly clear to you what he's saying. Do any of you speak Draconic? He says in common.
Nope.
Well, I'm glad that you all killed that stinking dragon. The rest of you just hear. So, little one, do you understand what it does now?
I heard every word you said, and nothing that had to do with what's on my head.
Well, say the command word with this, and you'll be able to understand any language as if you were some kind of highfalutin mage casting a spell for such a thing.
That's so cool.
Probably could come in handy, I would imagine.
It's mine. I claim it. Dibs.
Well, there's a matter of payment, little one. And with that, he snatches it off your head and slides it quickly back into the cabinet underneath him.
Hey.
And this last, a bit more difficult to explain. Let me see. What's the best way to demonstrate?
That was the helmet, right?
It was, but it kind of looks like a. I remember what I said. The style of the helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like,
That's
who's the Mortal Kombat guy that throws his hat and chops your head off?
Raiden.
No.
Mm-mm.
He's got like the metal sombrero.
Yes. I can picture him. I do not know his name.
Johnny Sombrero.
No.
Kaowei. No.
No.
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao. Oh. You said it first.
So, he opens up this little box. It's got a hinge. Actually, look it. I've got a prop.
Prop.
On hand. So he opens up this box. On the top, it's like kind of got this inlay of it in there. And as you opens it up, it shows that you inside there are 3 pockets of this kind of waxy kind of paper that's been folded up. And he holds them up, and they're sort of translucent in, kind of the way that a wax paper can be. And you can see inside there's like this glittering powder in there. And he says, I cannot demonstrate one of these because there are only 3 uses of this. But I can tell you that should you throw this dust in the air, you and any creature or object within 10 feet of you will vanish from sight for a few minutes.
Oh, like this? And I cast invisibility on myself.
Yes, just like that. I knew a halfling who did that once at a party. Very disturbing.
Was it a birthday party?
It was. He was almost as old as me.
Halfling kind of thing.
Must be a custom. So, he snatches it back and puts it in there, and he kind of flicks the latch on it. All safe and secure. Now, Would you like to give me some of my gold back?
What about the vial?
Want the missiles?
Oh. You saw that one, did you? And he kind of holds it up, and it's got this kind of viscous, thick liquid in it. And as he holds it up, you can see that actually that plant material inside, it's actually seaweed. He goes, it's not the easiest thing to drink down, I'm told. But once you do, you should be able to to breathe underwater for a period of time. I believe that is called gillyweed, that seaweed that they have in there, suspended. A whole hour, actually.
Won't you die before the hour? I mean, it's really, really cold in the water.
Well, not everyone is so susceptible to the cold.
How much for the helmet? Skull cap thing.
For the heroes who saved my business, I can see to give a discount on that. I would say for you, 425 gold. Anyone else, be 600 or not a shilling, not a copper less. Shilling. Suddenly I'm in London.
Yeah.
How much gold did you just get, Filbert?
225. But we still have.
Now, if you had more items to trade in, we could do a swap.
We have these. This lovely smoking jacket that you haven't seen yet.
Holy
I
out.
believe
like that
the
about you.
gems alone should cover the cost of the helmet.
Ow. He eagerly starts, yes, let's see.
Gems are easier to move than a comb set.
Well, magic items never go out of style. This is clearly made for a dwarf, so the name narrows down my buyers significantly, but, I'm still in business and not part of a charred ruin, so I'll do an even swap. What say you?
Sure. Maybe you do a little extra pushing to get a good price on the hookah.
Absolutely. As I say, consignment work is where I make my money. But these items are straight profitability, and actually you do make a point. I can always, if need be, scrounge the gems and not take a total loss, so good trade.
I think the gems cover the cost.
Gimme.
All right, so take off the quilted smoking jacket.
You got it.
And I need to figure out 10. Since I didn't buy the damn player's handbook, let's see if I get if it's even in here. I might have to make it for you. Oh no, there it is.
Do you guys see the image I put in Discord?
Not yet.
Kung Lao.
Yes.
There you go.
Is that what you were describing? Because that's what I saw in my head.
Hang on. Where the fuck is my Discord? That guy? Not quite, but that's
Victory.
that's pretty good. No, that is pretty good. I was thinking more of like fuck, I can't remember the name of it. It's like a kind of a more of a standard, not quite as big as that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd wear that.
I want to see her in that though.
Got my own fancy hat now.
One of these. But I was thinking a little bit more flat than this. Hang on. Oh, I guess I could just put it into Discord. That's probably easier, isn't it? Too many windows.
Cute. Show them.
This is what my daughter just sent me. And I'll do it on hers. Hers will probably not be as bright. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, that's cute.
Yep, she drew it.
She drew that Scanlan?
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah. It's actually like she's done way better than that on stuff. That's probably like a real quick. I'm gonna do Scanlan. Send it to my dad.
Is that?
Yeah. They both do way good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Bella used to not be that great. Now she's been practicing a whole bunch. Now she's getting as good as my younger daughter is.
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta tape this into the freaking book. Cause y'all be back.
We're gonna bring back some random thing that you barely mentioned.
A bunch of circling around motherfuckers.
Can you imagine if Mr. Railroad was still playing? He would be losing it even worse by now.
Which one was that?
The painting figures guy who said that
Oh, Mitch.
kept going off on tangents.
Yeah, he'd be losing his shit right now.
That is literally my character.
Literally putting it in the book. Tape. All right.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this mithril chain, it doesn't offer anything more than the chain I'm wearing as far as protection goes. It just makes it so that I'm more dexterous, doesn't it?
Correct. You would be able to sneak about without clinking and making so much bloody noise.
Yeah.
He's already pretty loud.
I'm not the most sneakiest anyway, so.
Yeah, it's mostly, it's more to those who aren't as naturally endowed as you, who normally couldn't wear chain due to the great weight, this lightweightness, and the ability to be stealthy while wearing it. Some of you are the companions, perhaps.
Yeah.
It is considered light armor, even though it's medium armor, right?
Full chain, it would be medium instead of heavy.
Yeah.
Technically.
Right.
It's full chain.
No, all it does, I mean, in game, technically, all it does is that as written, you can wear it under normal clothes and not, thank you, Lord of the Rings. And if the armor normally imposes disadvantage on dex checks or has a strength requirement, the mithril version of the armor doesn't.
Gotcha.
However, I'm all for house ruling it. That it would count as light armor as opposed to medium.
John's just looking for a fun.
Looking for something to add to my armor.
So that would chainmail, you said?
Yeah, but it would count. I listen, man. If you're gonna go by the logic of it, I would say that mithril should count as light armor with respect to all the properties that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Then opposed to medium, right? Because the medium is what imposes the disadvantage. The medium has got the strength, right? The light doesn't. So, if you have proficiency in light, but not in medium or heavy, you should be fine with this. Right? Because it weighs and moves. It actually moves better than any kind of hide or leather or studded leather. You can wear under your fucking clothes.
Yeah.
So yes, that's the long answer, David. They say that I don't give a fuck about rules as written. I would say that for our house rules that it would count as light.
So then either...
And what's the dex max on chainmail?
No, chainmail is straight 16.
Then no, it's not even worth it for me because that's what my AC is now. So
Yours 16? I feel so.
I put +4 on dex.
Mine's 14.
And I have
it's an uncommon
studded, I think.
Yeah, and it's an uncommon, so it's you guys are pushing, you're in the next tier.
Okay.
So uncommon stops. Well, for those straight bonus type of things, the +1 weapon, the +1 AC, that type of stuff, you guys are kind of past that to be impactful.
But John doesn't have a +1.
I've got my axe.
I know, but
Everybody's gonna feel that +1 eventually.
Well, there's generally, what I'm saying is there's generally the downside to one of those, right? And so you guys are now in tier 2. So it's the tier 2, the rare magic items that really kind of start to make the impact.
Yeah.
Unless you're clever, Fuck, some people use, a bag of tricks to, wreak havoc all throughout the entire game. And I'll tell you what, the most broken fucking magic item in the entire game, in my personal opinion, at least when I have it as a player character, is, boots of flying. Or wing boots.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I literally broke the Rise of Tiamat. I bypassed everything. I was a halfling, I'm like, nope, I'm going to go. Literally bypassed every major encounter in the book. I go, no, I'm going to fly over it and get behind him and open the back door. Let everybody in the back door. You would think after the 6th time that I did it, the DM would compensate. He didn't.
No. He didn't want to put any real work in. Come on.
He would have actually had to read the thing before he actually showed up.
Yeah.
where is my?
I mean, I really don't.
You've got your dragon iron. That's about all you got.
Yeah, I don't really have magic.
certain small characters seem to get all the magical items.
Ha 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 ha.
I have a bow.
A badass bow.
You gave me the amulet of your own free will.
Well, no, you've got a bow. You've got goggles. Don't you have boots too?
Yeah.
Yeah, the boots of the winter ones.
Hey man, you guys divide these shit up.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, you know, it's just with it. We're just role playing, okay? They would be like, "Well, that is the most useful for this person."
It's all good.
You know. Mm. Well, are you guys done shopping?
Um,
Did you want to take a bio break? No, I just go on it.
She's just got her cup right there.
You can hear everybody from the bathroom.
I'm done shopping. I don't have anything to look for, so.
I'll be in touch as soon as I find buyers for those. Certainly, if I come across any more items that might be of some interest to you, I will send word to that as well. But in the meantime, and he kind of grabs the lapels of his jacket. Oh, thank you for doing business at the what the fuck? At the Shady Seder. That's what we called it today. Thank you very much.
thank you, old person. Bye.
Winzira, did you dispel your invisibility or you're still invisible?
No, I had to drop it for detect magic.
Okay. Oh, you did invisibility afterwards, didn't you?
Yeah.
I did. It was one of the two. Then no, I am actually still invisible, so you can
Good.
hear me.
That's the way it should be.
Bye, little goblin girl. Drive fast, take chances.
He gets a hug, an invisible hug before we leave.
Well, you'd have to climb up on this stool.
Mm-hmm.
She will.
Well,
Oh, Jesus, what the? Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. You smell like rotten meat. Lovely.
thanks.
I have to
Bye.
have this brushed out now. All right, meanwhile, back at the ramshackle inn that I thought we would have left behind almost immediately. The kobolds finish serving out the whole thing, and it's the whole. For those of you who have been to Disney and rode Star Tours, picture those little bots that work on the ships, and that whole pre-show. No, none of you really. God, this is a great illusion if you knew what I was talking about.
We can't afford Disney. It's not something in our budget.
Ever in your entire life you've never been?
I think my mom took me to Disney when I was 1.
I went when
That
I
was the last time I was there.
13 when I lived in Louisiana.
Wow. All right, I'll get you guys.
That was 1989.
Okay. Point taken. Point taken. Tara and John, I don't know if I can get enough for the kids, but one weekend that you don't have the kids, I'll try to hook you guys up with a couple passes to go.
Yeah.
I know a shit ton of people work there. So I'll see what I can do.
I've been wanting to go to see the Star Wars area.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's where I'll send you guys. It'll be to Hollywood Studios.
Nice.
Let me see what I can do. It'll probably be on a day that it's ungodly crowded and awful, and but you have to go and just be there.
Yeah.
And hang out. Anyway, So there's this whole bumbling thing. I'll find a video of it and I'll post it later on. You go, oh yeah, that was a great idea.
Did you get my whispers?
Yeah. So you guys are kind of sitting there watching as these kobolds, are bumbling around, and they start to bicker, and at one point one of them takes the frying pan out of the fire and smacks one of them upside the head, right? And they're like bitching at each other and draconic, and Verlaine is literally oblivious to all of it. She's like on this camp chair that they set up for her. They put a blanket over the top of the camp chair, and she's on it, and she is pouring through the books that you had given her. She is engrossed, has absolutely no idea what's going on until a little drop of something that was in the pan or they were cooking, and this fight breaks out. Drop lands on the page, and she just stops and looks at them. And they all instantly stop. And you can see them palpably start to shake. She holds up a finger. And then she holds up a single finger. And she cocks her head. And then looks down. And one of them pees. A little bit. And as this is all going on, you guys are sitting there. The elf wanders off into a corner, and he's sitting there, and he pulls out his spell book, and he starts talking to himself for the book, or not sure what, but he's over muttering to himself in the corner. Ashala pulls out a very long dagger, almost a stiletto, and begins cleaning her nails with it. And you kind of notice that her nails are really kind of long and thick and curve a little bit at the end, that you didn't quite notice it before. And somehow they've come through those enchanted gloves that she put on that now look like kind of like dried sewn on skin on her hand. And these kind of blackened nails have actually started coming through the glove. And she's over there, and she's kind of just using her stiletto to pick at it and clean her nails underneath. And kind of gross. Probably about 25 minutes goes on as you guys are sitting around. Kaz, I can imagine that you're not there. Thea, you're kind of cleaning your armor and kind of polishing your holy symbol. And diddling your rosary beads. And you hear a bit of a commotion out on outside. Like almost like an argument, and raised voices, and
Door. I'm gonna open that door.
Okay. So as you approach, as you go to reach for the door, you actually hear now almost a scuffling, right? And as you open up the door, roll me a quick perception.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So, the first thing that you see as this blast of cold air hits you, right? Because you forgot, it's still cold out there. Blast of cold air hits you, and you kind of close the door, like step out and close the door behind you. The first thing you notice is this small girl, maybe 12, 13. She's bundled up. So it's kind of hard to tell. But very well put together. Like very neat. You know, even her outer gear, it's all really well done. And she's sitting there in perfect posture, and she's looking up at you, and she has this big smile on her face. And behind her, you see an older lady, still kind of chasing someone down the street as they running them and giving one last kick and kind of clicking him in the back of the heel and sending him tumbling down. And you hear the wind. You can't quite make out what she said, but you can see her shaking a fist. And you swear to God, it almost looks like in her fist she's got like a parasol of some kind, which she then kind of, whatever it is, she kind of hooks on the back of her belt, which is around her long overcoat. Her cold weather gear is very long, like not like a jacket, but actually down to almost to her calves. And it's all black fur of some kind. Very short-haired fur, but black fur. And she walks up with her. She does have a hood. And she walks up and says, good day, miss. Yes, we were sent over by the speaker. Mrs. Huddle asked us to come by. Apparently there is some potential need here for caretakership of the inn while you're away. If you're speaking, we can't hear you.
I said, yes, come in. Get out of the cold.
All that's coming through John's mic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That time I heard you. Yes, please. My daughter. This is Sally.
What's up? Come on. No need standing out here.
They follow you in.
I'll ask her what all the commotion with the boy was.
Oh, that unqualified. Coming to try to pass themselves off as proper help. Ruffians, scallywags, drinkards. I've seen them all around town for long enough. You do not need to be bothered by them.
All right. Well, that's one bonus already in your bonnet there.
I wish I had a bonnet.
Right here. It's right here.
So she pulls out a piece of paper and a parchment and hands it to you. My references. And on it, with a quick scan, you see a bunch of names that you have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
But you do recognize a couple of the cities that are mentioned after the names. You do recognize Neverwinter. And you do recognize Daggerford as larger cities to the south.
Exotic. I'm sure you've worked for many exciting places. I've never had the pleasure of leaving 10 towns.
Well, you see, miss, it has always been my lot to be in service to nobility. I started off as a scullery maid in the castle in the manor in Daggerford, a small, modest settlement, but with a duke, surely. And with good references, I was able to make my way further up the chain, as they say, eventually landing in a fine appointment as mistress of sheets in a count's service in Neverwinter. Well, you see, at the time, my husband was in a man-at-arms and fell in battle years before, so I've been raising my daughter Sally here by myself, and, well, let's just say that she caught the eye of the Count. And at 12 years old, I thought it best perhaps that we move on. And further north of Neverwinter was about as far as we could get. And, well, we arrived just in time to be locked here in this eternal night. But speaking of Nimsy, Huddle, she's been a blessing. She's looked after us. She's put us to good work here and there, but she says that this is a task that she feels that I'm well suited for. So, perhaps you could share with me more than a very busy speaker could this morning. What is it that you're looking for?
Bestowed this lovely establishment. We are not nobility. But we are adventurers, and in fact, we just saved as many towns of 10 towns as we could from a dragon. I don't know if you knew that one was coming here.
Of course we did. We had to flee into the forest with a guard, with most of the residents. Only came back early this morning. So that was you? You did
Yes.
that?
Well, not just me, my group. Some are here, some are purloining some of our treasures in order to obtain funds and things. And yes, it was my group that we're called the Doom Sled.
Doomsled 5.
Yes, Doom Sled Pie. There we go. Yes. Well, we bandy around a few names. Anyway, I thought we should be called the Bringers of Life, but you gotta go with the group, right? So, anyway, we need someone that can take care of the place while we're not here and assist in returning it to its former glory. In exchange, we would be willing to pay, a coin. I never had a servant before, so I'm not exactly sure what's fair. But of course, we would make sure that you could be comfortable with you and your daughter, a place to stay, and any assistance you need in getting this place functional again.
You guys are kicking off a lot of static, John. You got a XLR cable loose? I'm assuming it's you. There you go. Whatever you did, that fixed it.
You must have pushed something out.
It sounded like just like one of the cables got loose.
Yeah.
Probably would.
Well, miss, can I be perfectly frank with you?
Of course.
I have been a servant most of my life, and it has gotten me here, not where I would like to be. It almost got my daughter raped, let me be frank. So, I do not wish to be a servant anymore. However,
I'm looking for a servant.
I would like to help you. I have knowledge of running a household, and certainly can help you to turn a profit with this, especially with your notoriety. I don't necessarily wish a salary. I do not wish to be employed. I would like to discuss, perhaps, a percentage of profits. I am not without means to sustain myself and my daughter for the time being. I could certainly take this on as a project with the understanding that moving forward, I would receive 1 out of every, say, 10 pieces of gold that come into this establishment.
100% cut.
I'd say it seems pretty fair, as in you'd be taking the risk yourself. Of course, there would also come with it, and again, I'm not looking for a servant, I'm looking more for a head butler slash housewoman, you know?
Well, I think you're looking for more than that. I think you're looking for someone who can not only hire additional staff and manage them, but also make it so that they turn a profit. Because you will not be here unless you're planning on retiring. Did I miss my guess? So you will be looking for someone to take on your establishment and run it for you as if it was their own. I think a 10% cut is quite reasonable. And again, part of my being so bold, it is new to me after a life of servitude, but this place has had an effect on me. I will be using your notoriety as heroes of 10 towns, or Icewind Dale, as I guess we'll have to start calling it now, to maximize clientele and profitability. And it will be some time before there will be a lot of profit for any of us.
You don't see any problem with that, although I don't think I can technically make that decision all on my own, as my other compatriots, at least 2 of them, have a say. And I look over at Ashala and Brendan, and I'm like, not you. Well, because not even Kaz technically owns this place.
That's true.
And Filbert and I, who own this place, technically. The rest of the people who owned it are gone or dead.
Or soon to be. Oh, no, wait, what? Wait, what?
Well, I don't say that out loud. I'm just saying out of game.
No,
Like,
I know.
Yeah. So, at least 2 of them, I would not disrespect them to make a final shade, although I do find your terms fair. And I will say that I would very much like this place to not be a place of ill repute. I'm sure with your daughter and everything else, you don't seem like that kind of lady, but I'm sure if people want that kind of place, they can find it elsewhere. Like the Happy Scrimshander or something. Or the Lucky Liar. I would like this to be a nice, wholesome, comfortable place where people can come to rest their cold bones and warm up. Get a nice tale and a song, a cozy sleep, maybe a prayer.
Shala goes, a brothel. Definitely.
No,
That's the way they go.
not a
Profitability.
brothel.
You said to get some tail.
Yeah, you said good tale.
That's
As
where the
in-
money's at.
As in a heroic tale of wonders and
Oh,
heroism.
honey,
and
I've seen some
piety.
heroic tale. Let me tell you. The pecs on that man. Best 30 gold I ever spent.
Don't listen to her.
Ugh. Clerics.
If you wouldn't mind, just waiting around perhaps a little longer and...
I shall do one better. Allow me to go and have a contract drafted up, and I shall bring it back and deliver. If your co-owners find it acceptable, sign, and I shall start on immediately. And I will begin to make preparations for renovations, which will need to be happen before we can do anything.
Yes. Yes, I know very much that. And we are willing to put some money towards that. And, I mean, we are fortunately not, even for all our deeds, not the most well paid, but we do want to make this something.
Well, I shall take it on as if it was my own.
I have to pee.
Well, I trust you know where the privies are, ma'am.
It's a hole in the ground over here.
As a matter of fact, no, it's not. Because as I'm going to show you all, I actually put them. Oh, fuck. Hang on. Let me turn off the damn walls. I don't know. Why are they still on? Oh, because it's a wall. Bah. Sometimes I forget. I can just turn dynamic lighting off, though. That would work, too. No? There it goes.
So bright.
So you can go anywhere you want right now. It's mayhem. It's chaos. But this little door right here, if you look in there, it's actually because there's a tavern. You got to put a loo.
Myself and somebody keeps grabbing me. All right, there we go. I'm on the toilet.
So this is that main entrance to that kind of library-ish. I left books on the shelf because they were like so stupid and boring that nobody ever thought to take them. This is the pantry with the trapdoor that goes down to the escape area. You got the kitchens. And this whole area back here, which had these doors, were the ones that were locked that she kind of magicked open one of them when you guys went to sleep. Was some kind of like private, like formal, like private dining area.
Yeah.
Why is it not shifting everybody there? There we go. Cool.
See you in turn. Let people know of your fair offer, and I'm sure we'll see you again. It was nice to meet you, little Sally. And go to shake
Hargrave.
Hargreaves' hand.
Yes, ma'am. Pleasure. Green. Hargrine.
Alright, I'm sure they're on their way back.
Without looking up, and with a white owl still perched on her shoulder, as she flips a page. Yes, very domestic. But if we don't solve the problem of the Frostmaiden, we will all be encased in ice soon enough.
Of course,
And
By the way,
she flips
has-
another one of your books, by the way. She flips, as she says that, she flips another one of the books down. There's now 3 of them on the ground that she's kind of gone through.
Yes. Well, the speaker is the one who's helping us to get to Danae, who is our lead.
No,
And the one thing
she
that-
told you to go speak to Danae. Did she not?
And she said I could use her favor to threaten her with an audit if we needed to. And the one thing that the speaker asked of us was to at least get this place resided.
Priestess, fair. All right, so you guys basically get back at that point. You kind of, as you're walking up, it is now approaching not quite noon, but it's after 11, so you can see a distance, and you see this woman and a younger girl kind of leaving together out of the front of the ramshackle and heading off towards the north. As you make your way around the corner near the harbor. You enter back in, and you find the scene of chaos.
I will.
I love how that whatever Roll20 is doing is making Brendan this tiny little thing. And then Filbert is so much bigger. I'm tempted to leave it that way.
As it should be.
Yeah, apparently we're talking genitalia.
So as they come in, I'll tell them about the interview, and that really only one person showed up, but
There were more. They got chased off. She chased them all off.
That's true. But tell her, hey, this lady seems to have a good head on her shoulders, and she's got a lot of experience, and instead of a salary, she would just like 10% profit as almost a partnership. I think that's a pretty good deal. And she seems pretty passionate about it, and it would leave us thinking about this place and would make the sister happy. And really no loss to us.
So we get paid to do nothing?
Yes.
Do you want 10% gross or 10% net?
1 gold per 10 gold.
Gross or net?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
Net.
Okay.
Any 10 gold with the plate space. She wants.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Hire her.
Okay. Well,
I do nothing. That's fine.
She's supposed to bring a contract back. I wasn't going to make the decision without you all. But she's even from Neverwinter.
Where's that?
She worked there.
Down south.
In the south.
She's
South
from
where?
she's from a lot further south than that.
And Daggerfall. I don't know. Those.
Neverwinter is not that far south when you really compare it to anything.
No, Daggerford is.
Oh yeah, Daggerford is down below Waterdeep. Yeah.
Daggerford's way down.
Yeah, she's like worked in all.
Practically choked, man.
Super exotic places.
Exotic? You mean normal?
To me, it is.
Where there's tigers
Yeah.
and
Where there's
crazy
sunlight?
and crazy lady's name Karen.
I'm sure she'd do a great job. All right.
Well,
Once she gets back, we'll sign the contract, and then I think maybe we should get our stuff ready to go. Unless we need to rest another night. Did you have any luck on the sales?
yeah, here's 125 gold for the party fund, and we each get another 25 gold.
Okay.
You didn't even mention my new hat.
It's very nice.
It doesn't count now.
Okay.
You don't mean
Thank you.
it. No.
Very round.
I had to mention it. It doesn't count.
Don't we have to go talk to that person?
Yeah. So we should go. He said 25, right, for us?
Yeah.
Okay. We should go find Dana. Dania. Who I think we were told could be found at, it was either the Lucky Liar or the Happy Scrum Shander.
Danae is at the Lucky Liar.
All right. So who wants to go?
Don't we have to wait for the lady to come back?
Sure, she'll just drop the contract off.
Well, since we don't own the place, I guess we could stay here and be your
Proxy.
message takers.
Attic is mine. Don't go up there.
Promise I won't. Says Ashala.
She goes up there.
Meanwhile, she starts throwing her stiletto at the wall.
Hey, we're trying to fix this place up. Stop it.
Have you seen that banister? It's going to be replaced anyway.
Principal.
I'm honing my skills, cleric. That toss might save your ass one day. Not that I'm actually looking at your ass.
She's
I think she likes you.
seen her nails. Let's go.
See you guys soon. Don't break anything.
As you say that, the kobolds have been trying to wrap some twigs tight enough to make a broom. And two of them now are one standing on another one's shoulder, and they're both trying to work this broom. And as they do so, they're actually able to do a passable job. And they start to, as they're sweeping up this area, they're brushing up all of the blown out soot and old refuse that has kind of like gotten blown out of this double-sided hearth. They're kind of teetering, but then they kind of get into the groove of the teeter, and it's kind of impressive. It's kind of impressive.
So are they 3 kobolds in a suit?
Not quite yet. There's just 2 of them.
Look, they're learning.
You see that the third one is kind of standing like kind of in the middle of the room, and he's just kind of like picking shit out of his ear and eating it. So,
2, 3, 8.
All right, so what are you doing?
We're gonna head to Danea.
All right, so you guys kind of walk down. Let's see. So, leaving the ramshackle, you kind of walk northward, along the edge of Mar Durden. And as you do so, you look over and you're actually seeing boats coming in and coming out. And it clearly strikes you, the difference from the carnage that you have seen in the last 24 hours to how quickly the people of Lonelywood are getting back to the daily grind of trying to survive in this never-ending night. Because it's clear if they don't bring in the fish, the people here will starve. And they're back out doing it again. So wandering down, you pass the Happy Scrim Shander. And you recognize it. It's good to see the torches out front. But you pass down a little bit further on. And you approach what you have been shown and directed to in the past, but never actually entered. And you see the undeniable, recognize it anywhere, exterior of a tavern. I mean, before you even get within the 50 yards that it takes to smell it, you can tell it's a tavern.
Yep.
As you guys step up and you open up the door, even though it's midday, there are at least 30 or 40 people in the tavern at this point. You're hit with that raucous kind of sound of a tavern that you would think I would have up and running, but I did not think that you would still fucking be in. Anyway, imagine the sound of the noise and the din. And as you look in, you see what are clearly deckhands on some of the fishing trawlers by their dress and their lack of hygiene, basically, and the dirt and grime on them. But you also see some could almost be adventuring types. The first thing, though, everyone has their coats off because of the 2 large hearths on either side of this great room, this big open tavern kind of room, are just blazing fires in them. And it is warm in here. Now, not to say it's Florida warm, it's not, but compared to when you're used to 40 degrees below zero, it is really warm in here. And you see everybody's kind of now stripped down. You can actually see people. And it takes you off guard a little bit because you're not used to that, right? You're not used to people taking off their outer clothes and seeing, and you're actually be able to see people here. And it's notable. And you can definitely pick out now. Those are fishermen. Not sure who those guys are. Those guys are definitely some kind of like adventuring types or warriors of some kind, right? You can definitely see it. And through weaving in and out of all of this, you see a raven-haired, but like not 80s big hair, but big hair, right? I mean, it's thick and it's like wavy and it is jet fucking black. And she has like almost porcelain-like skin and piercing blue eyes. And she's moving throughout this crowd and just handling it. And based on what you've been told, this can be no other than who you're looking to speak with. This is Danae Zotal, the proprietor of the Lucky Liar.
Righty. I suggest we go in and, I don't know, maybe we'd order a drink first, and then we can try to talk to her. What do you all think?
Good idea.
I like drinking.
Sounds fine.
And I finally found the sound effect.
Perfect time. We just entered.
After my exposition. What's the word I'm looking for?
Exposition.
My exposition dump.
Yeah, so... Come on, guys.
We're gonna go sit down. And drinks are on Thea.
And as you sit down, and when Zira, as you say that to Thea, actually, sliding right up behind you as if gliding. Oh no, they're not. This place is here because of you. The drinks are on the house. Hello. Welcome to the Lucky Liar. These all scumbags will tell you that they've saved 10 times, 15 times over. But shit, all hell, you've actually done it.
You must be...
Danae Zotal, absolutely, darling. Welcome. And please, allow me. Jerry, get your lazy ass over here with drinks for these people. Fuck's sake, man, you're only alive because of them. You see this kind of like middle-aged, bow-back, beat-on old guy kind of coming over, and he sloshes down drinks in front of you, and most of you are taken in by the whole thing, but I'm trying to do this off the top of my head now. So Thea, Filbert, who else has got passive perception over 15?
15.
Yeah, I thought it was Cass. As she's slapping those drinks down in front of you, you swear to God you think he says, I'd rather have fucking died by the dragon. So, what brings heroes like you to lunchtime at the Lucky Liar.
Free lunch.
Well, you'll have that today at least. Tomorrow, we'll have to negotiate. But in all seriously, seriously though, the speaker had sent word that she'd be coming. She says you have a matter of import that you need to discuss. But sure be told, lunch do be on me today.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Yes. Well, yes, it is rather important.
Is it something that we can talk about here, or do we need privacy?
Say we get a drink and then perhaps some privacy?
Oh, you're flirting with me now, Clark.
Yes.
She is.
Yes, I am.
Excellent. You and the big one. We'll tag team them. I just. Although the goblin seems to get it. Either that or she's just hungry. Jerry, get that goddamn food over here for this one, or she eats you. Not in a good way.
I can do both if you want.
Betting you could.
Gilbert, did you see your whisper?
I did not.
So, what is it that you need?
I'm whispering to Filbert.
Yeah.
She was like walking away and stuff. Sorry, he didn't see it.
Are we still having drinks, or are we in our private conversation?
You're in a. She kind of puts you guys at a table that's. There are people around. You know. They might hear you. They might not.
Okay. Like as we were walking
But
over
she
there,
she leans in. She leans in and kind of puts herself between them. You know, she puts the other people at her back. She seems to kind of like indicate for you to continue.
I'm a little lost, sorry.
It's all right, Master Halfling. You've had a busy couple days, haven't you? No, but the speaker said that you wanted to speak to me about something. Something I might be able to help you out with.
Yeah.
Something of non-common knowledge.
Yeah, we're looking for some Luskan pirates that might be in the area.
specifically a woman named Nazil.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I do appreciate the discretion with the question. I don't traffic with Luskin pirates, you understand? You know, as a proprietor of an establishment in Lonelywood, of course, especially, I hear some things, yes, and times being what they are, I may have purchased a keg or two of rum from a Luskin. Not for me to say if he engaged in piracy, of course. Do you have a specific need, or just any Luskin pirate, or shall we say, free-thinking merchant who hails from the port of Luskin might provide?
We're specifically looking for a woman named Nazil who might have some dealings with some local Luskin free-thinking merchants.
Yeah. Do not know this name. Roll a persuasion. With advantage, because you're fucking saved like all of 4.5 towns.
All right. I have terrible persuasion, which is why I was asking.
Actually, do a
I
group.
don't have any persuasion.
I was gonna say do a group persuasion. Well, 14's good enough. Because she wants out.
I've
Listen,
only got more than you.
I can honestly say this. I do not know this name. I've never heard of anyone named Naz. Perfectly awful name, don't you think? Naz. Ugh. But I do know of some, shall we say, free-thinking Luskin traders, as they will be forever known now, who were trying to do something and ran afoul, and the morons thought that they could get in close and personal with the sea of moving ice. Let's just say, in close they got, personal they got, moving they did not. Perhaps that ship is what you're looking for. Where your Naz had tried to gain birth.
B.
Do you have a map? I'm assuming you have a map. You have the look of adventurers about you. Maps.
Filbert.
Your expertise is needed.
I threw all my maps away.
That's a lie.
I take out a map.
She looks at you and she goes, "Aren't you adorable?" And bops you on the nose. And at the same time, with her hand behind her back, she stabs a stiletto dagger into your map and the exact point that she wanted you to see. It only makes the tiniest, smallest little freaking hole in your map.
Yeah, but she ruined it.
Yeah, maybe. But she did it without looking.
Yes, that's impressive.
I'm literally dragging, because I have 3 monitors and a laptop, and my mouse I can drag over to the laptop and back, right? I have a map on the wall. I'm at this point, just right now, I was literally trying to get my mouse to go up on the map on the wall, the paper map on the wall. Yeah, how's that for spoiled? It's pretty fucking spoiled. Now I'm thinking about, I've got a couple more monitors. I can mount it to the wall over there. Little Raspberry Pi, drive that, connect to the Wi-Fi. What did you?
That couldn't cause any more problems.
It wouldn't. No, because the processing power would be on the Raspberry Pi. It would be on that side. Anyway. Seek the Dark Duchess. I've had some men go and I make sure that it was there. You never know. There could be kegs of rum, all kinds of possibilities on that. In my line of work, honey, rum right now worth more than gold. But
Well, pirates don't gain any of their stock by
independent thinking merchants, if you please.
Well, I'm just saying.
You do know.
Can you steal something if it's already stolen?
Thea?
Can you hear Rebecca? There?
You do know that. Hey, Thea, you do know that adventurers pretty much do the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think perhaps this is an honest establishment, and perhaps maybe that rum was actually meant to come to the Lucky Liar, and instead these free-thinking merchants just took it all and didn't allow her to purchase it.
I mean, if you want more rum, we can get you more rum.
Say that is the official Lord of the Mornings take on the situation, being representative, of course, of said deity.
Well, considering that neither of them were owned, I suppose I could try to find the original owner. But if I couldn't, then it technically is not owned.
Hey, Jerry, drop that. Don't put the tray down. I want pamphlets made up. Lathander blesses our rum. Come on, chop, chop.
And if it was in service of the Lord, which you are helping serve our path right now, then therefore...
I would say this. Now, I don't know much about your god. I know a little bit. I know what I hear in passing. But certainly when you drink the rum, you feel the warmth, don't you? That is similar to the warmth given by the sun. So, by extension, drinking of rum can be in the service of the Morning Lord, don't you think?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
No. I pour in the way of...
Yes, Jerry, pamphlets, why are you standing? Why are you standing and not moving, Jerry? I swear to Christ, I will beat you senseless. I'm not sure who Christ is, but I will beat you anyway.
Jerry, the son of Lathander.
So, Dark Duchess, huh?
Yes, the Dark Duchess.
All right.
You have the mark on your map now.
Yeah.
Dear little halfling. And she, like, you have those curls. Those halfling curls, and she kind of twirls one and gives you a wink.
I think she likes you.
I don't know where her finger's been.
Would you like to know where it might go?
No, actually.
Jesus. Listen, halfling. When the priestess of Lathander is more flirt than you,
I don't think she's actually flirting.
you should drink more.
I just want to go home.
The Dark Duchess, out of Luskan. Only ship that matches your description in the last 6 months. Ran afoul of moving ice, trying to go someplace that they have no business going, and it must have taken something exorbitant for them to take that on. You want my professional opinion? That is mine. That's where I
thank
would
you
look.
I thank you for your assistance. Very much.
Didn't
It has
cost
been
me
most
much.
helpful.
And certainly, should you find rum and you bring it back, I will pay you handsomely for it.
Oh no, it's just for
Oh,
helping us
how much?
bring life
Don't,
back.
don't listen to her. How much?
Well,
It's in service of the Lord.
I would bring 50 gold pieces per barrel.
I mean,
Yes.
that sounds like a fair price.
Let's
Sounds
say
like
help
really
me,
good.
that anyone who helps
How
us.
about,
Clearly, you are the brains of the operation. What might you be called?
I'm Winzira.
Yes, Winzira. Now,
And
do you know how to play that lute?
I do.
Do you sing? Would you perhaps regale us with a tale of how you defeated the dragon and saved us all?
Sure, I can do that.
Shut it! Shut your traps, you mongrels! You will get an actual treat. Something none of you deserve. Now listen to this woman as she sings why you are still here to have this swill. Winzira, ladies and I say it loosely, gentlemen. That's your cue, sister.
So, we kill the dragons with our bows and arrows. Filbert shot it dead. Oh my. The wizard did nothing. And the snake, we had a snake in the party too, I think. Yeah, it's canon now.
She killed it.
She killed it. We had a giant snake and she killed it. There's also an elk and it died. Aww. But it killed half the towns, but we saved most of the rest. La 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 la.
Well done.
So you get a gasp and they groan and all that. Oh shit. And some tears start to as Winzira is up on top of the table and they're looking at her strangely. Sure shit, man. What the dice tonight. But as
I rolled a 9.
You rolled a 9.
I have a plus 10 in performance.
Fuck. You could have gotten godlike. You could have literally had a godlike performance if you crit it.
With that shit.
Yeah, you can actually crit and be like literally like Hermes delivering a message. Instead, 19 is enough to bring some tears to eyes, confusion to others why they're so emotional because they could give a fuck less whether they live or die for the most part. But your loot again seems to kind of like shimmer a little bit as you're playing, and it's a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer.
Probably also helps that they're drunk.
Can't hurt.
Nope.
So you guys are served up your food. It's all on the house. Winzira, you find yourself, even though you didn't put out a hat, you find that you are given, all said and done, the equivalent of 31 gold and 1 silver in mixed coins, which Dwayne is kind enough to kind of like be the bank and take it all in and give you the least amount of coin to carry. So 31 gold and 1 silver from your tale of I don't even know what. I mean, I was trying for a minute there. I couldn't. I'm at a loss. I mean, it's no throw a coin to your Witcher.
It is not.
And actually, the breakup song in the second series is even better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
I
just
love
waiting for the epic one, the epic breakup that I have that I can like. It's so good. It's fucking so good. Anyway. So, you complete your meal. Chickens, you think. I mean, they were small birds. Tasted like chicken. They were delicious. There was actually some seasoning.
Nice.
Yeah. Seriously. At one point, a half-orc woman kind of comes out through this swinging door. She's got an apron on. She kind of like looks over at the table that you see, and she kind of just waves and gives you the thumbs up with her, you know, and goes back in the kitchen.
I'll ask her if we can get a dish and a flagon to go.
Don't see why not.
We're just gonna bring it over because I have a friend that's Thai. That's at our inn.
Okay. So,
With that, I bid you good night.
yes, or good afternoon, as the case may be.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're ready to go, but I'm gonna head back to the inn and I'm gonna bring it to fuck, why can't I remember her name? Vena
Villain.
Villain, yeah.
So you come in and your 2 party members,
No, I'm gonna bring it for them. They didn't
Brendan
come.
and Ashala. You give them the look and look back. And look back. And then walk right over to Villain and hand her a lovely to-go container. And a flagon that has only a small bit of ice over the top. But you pull out your dagger and you crack the ice that is formed, even in that brisk walk back. And hand it over to her. Yeah, every time you move, by the way, John, I get total static.
Yeah, I think something's loose over there.
Just so you know. Not big deal for tonight, but just moving forward.
Big. Understand what it is.
You're fidgety, that's the problem.
Touching anything on the
Well, it's kind of been a role-playing, like, no, like, kill thing night. I mean, he's a barbarian Goliath.
Yeah.
Sorry, fighter Goliath. Excuse me. Pardon me.
Well, I mean, Ashala and Brendan could have come. Bless you. You know, and they chose not to.
Yeah, they're off together somewhere, I'm sure.
Right. But poor Valena couldn't come. She feels like she's an outcast here, so that's why I brought her back stuff.
Fair enough. Oh, but we're still playing the pub music. Sorry.
So.
All right.
All they want.
Well, we're at 11.
Yeah.
So we've gotten to midday. A lot of role play.
That was a fun morning, guys.
It was a lot of morning stuff.
Hey, that was keeping.
Dude, it was cool. I enjoyed that. That was fun.
We had shit to do.
And all the prep I did will now last me 2 more weeks. So, hey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to get that stuff done. I mean, like I said, we did promise the speaker that we would not just leave it abandoned after she did all that work.
I mean, not for nothing. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I mean.
Well, this is true, but that's not the kind of person that my character is.
That's
I
right.
heard free money. That was it.
And all the other influences who are the opposite of that character didn't bother show up, so.
Yeah, that.
All right.
The only other people.
Thank you, everyone.
Dave, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Everyone have a good night. I will talk to you guys during the week, I'm sure.
Awesome, brother.
Yeah.
Have a great one.
Next